Jason Munda, FileMaker.org. I'm with Matt Navarre.
Hi, I'm Matt Navarre with FileMaker Talk.
And MSN Media. And we are about 2/3 of the way, maybe a little bit more, into what I'm calling day 2, because the keynote was yesterday, so this is day 2 of DEF CON 2009. And I've been to a couple sessions today, mind-blowing sessions. Yours was one of them. So how many DEF CONs have you been to now?
Oh, over 10.
And
maybe.
This is the first time in San Francisco, so what do you think of this as a venue?
I love this venue. I really do. There was only one fear that I thought people were saying that it was not going to work about San Francisco, and that was people would disperse and not.
Right.
But that hasn't happened. I mean, here we are. We're most of the way through, or a lot of the way through. I've been here all week since Monday, and everywhere I go, there's FileMaker people.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we came in yesterday, and I've heard that. I heard that from a number of people that I talked to, was oh, everybody's going to want to go see San Francisco.
Yeah.
But I think that the amount of space that we used to deal with in the big resorts covers a couple of blocks around where we have extra, restaurants and bars to go to. So it's been really cool.
And I've actually loved, like when I do want to walk around. Earlier on, when I was walking around the city and seeing places, it's just there's so much to see if you want to go and spend a little time alone.
Plus, it's wonderful to not have to, or to actually be cool when you go outside.
Right, exactly. I've actually experienced, having been here all week, there's been a couple days that were really, really cold and foggy. And
yeah.
I had a jacket and didn't bring one because when I left it was 106 in Portland.
But you got one.
I got a jacket, but not till after I needed it.
Oh, that's right, because you were here early. Now, one of the sessions I saw today that was fantastic was your session on performing finds, doing searches in FileMaker. So tell us a little bit about your session, maybe an abstract of your session.
So basically, it's called Extend and Optimize FileMaker Search. It's make it easier to use and extending a Google-style search into your product.
Okay.
And searching all tables in your solution that have data that you want to search against, and then showing the results on one page.
Right. Now, I know that in the sessions you're not selling a product, but...
Right, I'm not trying to sell a product, but of course I'm actually demonstrating, and all my demos for the first 3/4 of it was FM Search Results, the product that just shipped about a month ago, that you can buy at fmsearchresults.com and seedcode.com.
Right, and that's, we've heard about it on podcasts, there's a lot of buzz about it. How much has gone into all of it? Let me just say this: it's freaking amazing. And watching you demo it in the context of a session was fascinating because of all of the nuances behind it, like all of the thought that goes into how do I clean up things, or how do I substitute different things logically. Someone tweeted actually during the session. Someone tweeted that you're essentially reading the minds of the users. So tell us a little bit about the experience of how you process and try to anticipate what a user is thinking.
Most of it's really from experience, and then
being that user that needs to find those things.
Well, part of it, but also actually watching users. So a lot of it came from my experience at Pre-1. So with Vertical Market, you have a rare opportunity to have one thing that you can watch carefully what hundreds of people use. Actually, thousands of people, individual users, use that software. There's 300 and some newspapers who bought it.
Okay.
And I travel around the country doing installs and training and stuff like that. And you watch what they do when you stand over the shoulder and train them for the first time they're using it. So you get such knowledge from doing that.
Yeah, that is a unique experience, especially.
And you watch the things that they do wrong that you'd never do wrong as a developer if you know the tool.
Right, exactly.
So that critical time to watch a user is that first half an hour of using something you've never seen before.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So kind of aggregating those and figuring out, oh yeah, a lot of times people when they search for, for example, one of the things is, a lot of times when people search for a phone number, they'll type it in as though they're doing data entry on a phone number. They'll type parentheses, 503, parentheses, space, 880-6288. It's like, just type in 880, whatever.
Right,
Don't put all the extra math around it. And so, yeah, if you make your search smart to say, well, yeah, if you type it in that format, we'll do all this extra work to actually find the number, however it's stored in your database.
Well, it's an incredible amount of logic behind it, yet it looks incredibly simple to implement. Is that
That was the goal, actually. A huge amount of the logic in there was actually just for the purpose of making it, really easy to implement. Actually, there's a video up on seedcode.com showing a 3-minute complete integration of search results into a single file solution.
That's incredible.
So it's pretty fast. Of course, I practice, so
Right, yeah.
But still, it's theoretically possible, actually really truly possible to do it in 3 minutes. And I think in for a regular solution that has 10 or 20 tables, someone can do it in an hour.
Yeah, that's
and you know, do a pretty good job of it.
I can't see how that. I mean, that should be standard in solutions around. Is there where do we go to find out pricing and all that stuff?
To those two sites, fmsearchresults.com, which actually is just easier to remember, but it actually forwards you right to code.com.
Code.com, very good. What else are you into? Let's talk about the podcast.
Building electric guitars. No, let's not talk about that.
5 minutes. We feel like FileMaker.org.
All right.
Let's talk about the podcast.
So the podcast I started a year ago with Matt Petrowski. It's called FileMakerTalk.com.
Right on.
And we try to keep it really high level. So there's a couple of other podcasts out there. One of them is the FileMaker Success Tips, which is really kind of beginning and intermediate, which is great because those guys, you know, the fact that they do that allows us to do totally off the deep end stuff. We can talk about anything we want, you know, Drupal configurations. And the main thing that I love about that actually is getting to talk to anybody in the community I want about whatever subject I want. If I want to call Ray Culligan about his latest thing and talk to him for 3 hours in Australia, I have a reason to do that.
Right.
And so I get, you know, then I can record that interview and other people can get to hear that as well. So
yeah, it's a great way to sort of open that door. I mean, you ignored me for years until I brought this video camera in, and then suddenly we can have this conversation.
So not true.
That's
not why I ignored you.
You
started it.
So we finally talked. We talked about FM search results. What else is going on? MSN Media.
MSN Media, that's my consulting company. My main big project right now, as I talked about in the session, is a big public health database for the state of Oregon, which I'm actually hoping to. It's actually freely available to any state that wants to use it once we're finished developing it.
Yeah.
Because the code is owned by Oregon and by the CDC. But it's so complex and involved that I'm hoping to build a business around supporting it in other states that want to use it.
Oh, gotcha. So is MSN, is that you by yourself?
Yeah, right now MSN Media is just me.
All right, very good. Well, thanks for being with us.
All right, thank you.
Oh, and when are you coming to Philly?
When you invite me.
Okay.
Actually, I'm planning on some FM Pub speaker tours.
Oh,
I'm
very
doing
good.
one, I think, in November in Texas. And I'd really like to do an East Coast one sometime in the next 6 months or so.
Put us on your list.
All right.
We got it handy.
Do you consider Philly East Coast? No, it's not an insult or anything.
No, that's, yeah, we're good. All right, thanks.
Thanks.
FileMaker.org, 5 minutes. Thanks.